I'll jump back in here. So in our last section, we'll explore how we are leveraging our AI content expertise to empower our client partners and really try to demystify the world of AI as it relates to the L&D industry. So in this next project, on the next slide there, Tiff, thank you. In this project, we collaborated with an online retail company to create an e-learning experience for their sales and marketing teams, focusing on the ethical and responsible use of generative AI. So through nuanced scenarios, learners explore complex AI ethics and bias mitigation strategies. The program offers practical guidance, equipping teams to navigate ethical dilemmas and gray areas in the application of AI. And by fostering a deeper understanding of responsible AI practices, the goal of this training is really to empower employees to leverage AI ethically, enhancing both the company's integrity and consumer trust. As we all know, AI has arrived and it is revolutionizing every industry, with its impact being felt in every role. I'm sure each of you here today have your own feelings about AI, whether you're excited about its potential, nervous about its impact, or curious about the possibilities. This technology is impacting every client we work with, and they're looking to us for guidance on how to adapt. That's why we've created this comprehensive AI workshop that breaks down the fundamentals. So what is AI? How can I use it ethically and securely? How do I write a prompt? How do I evaluate that prompt's accuracy? How can I leverage AI for transformative learning experiences? Our workshop experience tackles these questions and more. And if this experience is of interest to you or your team, please reach out and we'd really be delighted to customize it based on your needs. And as you've seen today, we're doing a lot of exciting projects with our clients, but also many of our clients need AI expertise internally. And we've been helping those clients by supplying them with great talent. So as it says here on the slide, if you do need talent, we can definitely help. And our final takeaway that we'll leave you with today is this: a successful AI-powered solution requires a holistic approach, robust security infrastructure, thoughtful data practices, strategic prompt engineering, and human-centered learning design. And trust, of course, as we enter this emerging world together. And back over to Tiffany to see if there are any questions. I know we're really powered through a lot of content there, so I'm glad we have a few minutes left.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, we've got somebody wondering about how the Inclusive AI project, I believe it was the first one that you shared, Dani, supported behavior change in the use of generative AI.
Yeah, so for this, we really relied on audience insights. We do a lot of empathy work as part of our analysis process with every project. And what we discovered here is that the issue that we were solving for through the training went beyond just absorbing knowledge. It was beyond just needing to know what to do. It was about really overcoming uncertainty about new technology. So a lot of people simply didn't trust and they were hesitant to use it. And secondly, we were giving them really complex things to look for in the results that their generative AI apps were producing. For example, DE&I concerns or inaccurate or even plagiarized references. And we needed to break down these complex critical thinking skills into smaller, more manageable habits that would help build confidence and motivate learners who were hesitant to put what they'd learned into action.
Good, thank you. I believe this might be in reference to a previous section, but someone is curious about how we train our AI models. For example, the Hilton Heart experience.
Emily, do you want to speak to that one? So training the models, RAG models, all the instructional design work that goes into it.
Yeah. So for that one, we are tracking the learner's strategic intent. So whether or not their intent matches each step of that heart model that Dani described, where there's empathizing, providing an answer, hearing them out. So we figured out what are the appropriate solutions to offer for each of those steps. And then how can we track whether the learner's intent is correct for each of those? And in future iterations of the project, we're going to be tracking also their word choice. So that's called syntactical analysis, and whether they're using the correct phrases and words for each of the steps, and eventually their sentiment as well and their tone. And we used a RAG model to catalog all of the client's data around the heart model to ensure to basically increasingly honor the learner's context so that the RAG model sort of gets smarter throughout the process, the AI gets smarter, and then can deliver more contextual feedback to them. We don't have our tech experts on the call to further explain that, but basically it's around increasingly honoring a learner's context and what they're asking to create more personalized experience.
Got it. Thank you for that.
I would add there that it's a really exciting moment for learning experience designers or instructional designers in particular, and just to see the evolution of that role. So instead of, scripting or writing out the scenarios and conceiving the branching scenarios that they would typically do, they're now using all of that knowledge to instead train that AI model. So as Emily mentioned, they're adding context. In the Hilton example, where they're adding for every letter of the heart model, the hear, empathize, apologize, resolve, thank. They're giving good examples of what that looks like, bad examples of what that looks like. So we're really giving as much context and feedback to the AI so that when they're analyzing learner responses, it's able to pull from what is an acceptable response, what is against Hilton policy. So we're, the more information we can feed it, the more accurate that response then becomes. And then fine tuning it with things like, how do we really assess empathy? Again, those are so nuanced. So it's really about making sure that we're giving it parameters and examples to help contextualize that.
Thank you both. That was a very thorough answer.